which they're probably gonna write this on my casket, I say this so much, but we can literally watch Domino's make a pizza. You can track a package, you know where it's at all times. But when you go to make the biggest investment of your life, usually, you you can't track it. Like, there wasn't a good buyer interface, and I felt like that needs to come. Other industries do this.
Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview Texas real estate professionals from active real estate investors, lenders, property managers, and many others that provide goods and services into the real estate investing industry in the great state of Texas. Our goal is simple: to share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level, and to meet the pros that can help you get there. Texas Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and entrepreneurs build the business they need to live the life that they've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Today's guest, Reannah Glover, has an innovative real estate tech application, the RealTime app, which helps facilitate seamless transactions with realtors and their clients. Reannah, welcome to their show.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you on here, and I always like to start off at the top of the show by asking guests how they got into the real estate space.
So I started when I was very young. Someone encouraged me to think about real estate. I loved law, and so I really thought that would be more of the direction I would go in. And when they told me you should think about real estate, I said, "Oh, no, no, no. Realtors are poor. I do not want to do that." And I grew up in a small town, and so it was like nothing really sold. And then I ended up going to work as like the number 4 or 5 assistant for a big agent and walked her dogs, did all the things, but I saw her work and I was like, "I do love this." And so I don't recommend starting real estate when you're that young, because there were some moments I really thought I was gonna starve, but God is good, and I jumped in and got ahead of the curve on some things that were coming onto the market with technology and kinda watched that transition, and so that's how I started, and then I was in a city I knew no one, but just kinda clawed my way through and had a really great career for 12 years.
West Texas, right? So it was Midland.
Huh? Midland, Texas.
Now, I know a little bit about West Texas from having some friends from Lubbock, but I don't know in great detail what the market is like out there. Is it a lot of oil field? What's the typical workforce like, and what's the market like in Midland?
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So it's an oil and gas based community. Like, I mean, they call it Little Saudi, but it's actually one of the top real estate markets in the United States. It's amazing how it works. I mean, it's very unique because a lot of it can almost be like old school, but a lot of real estate moves through that place. And it's a great economy. I mean, I was blown away by the opportunity there. But yes, it's all oil and gas based pretty much.
I want to ask you about the real-time app, but I also want to paint a picture here for someone coming up in real estate. So 19 years old, getting into the space. You mentioned being, thinking about maybe I'm going to go be an attorney. I could see that. I could see, based on what you've done, thinking, hey, maybe I'm going to go be an attorney. What was it about real estate? Did you know somebody? Was it a leap of faith? Did you have family, friends telling you to get into real estate?
You know, I Yes, so someone just they were like, "Man, your personality, you just really seem like you that would be something that you would do good in."
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And like I said, I was kinda like, "No," but when that job a friend of mine, her soon-to-be mother-in-law was the top realtor in Midland, and she was looking for another assistant, and so that's when I took that opportunity, but what I fell in love with in real estate, and I think this still carries on through my life today, is I'm really not a big salesman. I don't like that's not really who I am, but I love providing something of value. I love being there and being able to sit down with someone and say, "Hey, I know this is stressful, but I've been through this. Let me walk you through it." And that part of my, like me, that's what just in real estate sparked me. And I loved the hustle and that I had a really, really great teacher. And she told me, she said, "I'm going to tell you this in real estate. There is no ceiling here, but there's also no floor." And like I said, there were some moments I almost starved, but I was, got some really good opportunities and just kept hustling.
I want to ask you about a scaling a business in real, whether you're in West Texas, Central Texas, whether you're in West Coast of the United States, East Coast of the United States, people who are starting out. I mean, I don't know the exact statistic, but I got licensed as a realtor earlier this year. However many realtors after 2 years don't sell any homes, right? And so you see this big drop off.
Yeah.
You mentioned that it wasn't always easy or straightforward. What was your strategy to scale your business through downturns when you were just starting out? And what advice would you give to maybe younger realtors out there who are thinking about, well, this isn't easy right now. How do I develop a clientele?
Yeah. So I am a big advocate for take advantage of the time you have at that moment, right? And tell yourself, I won't always be here. One day I'm going to have 20 houses under contract. But when I started, I said, okay, I would look at these big agents and I'm like, why would someone use me? Like, I tried to look so much older than I was. I wore suits. Like, I would never tell anybody my age. I was so embarrassed. But I'm like, why would someone use me over them? And you have to really ask yourself that. And I'm a huge advocate for educate yourself. Like, I don't have a college degree, I don't have anything, but I can learn and I can read. And so I knew those contracts from front to back. I knew those addendums from front to back. And then what I did is I hustled. So when I had a client, you better believe when they called, they got an answer. When they text, I replied. And I never stopped appreciating them for their business. And just once we close, I have like a strategy that I used to do, but always just letting people know how grateful I am and that I don't take this lightly that you trusted me with this investment.
And then that's how you get the referrals and the repeat business. I do want
Yeah.
to pivot a bit here, Rihanna, and ask you about where you saw this opportunity for the real time app. When did this come to you? Was there a point in your own uh, business as a realtor where you were seeing, hey, there may be an opportunity for someone to innovate here? And was that the inception of this idea for the real time app?
Yeah. So, like I said, starting 12 years ago, or I guess a little more than that, I really watched a lot transition in the industry. And so, when I talk about me kind of being ahead of the curve on some stuff, I worked for the top real estate company there in Midland, but I was the youngest one. And all of these agents are older, very successful. And at that moment, the company spent $20,000 a month on the newspaper, on advertising in the newspaper, because that used to be where you would go look at new listings. Well, there was a new company trying to come onto the market and their name was Zillow, and they wanted to sell leads and nobody wanted to buy them. I mean, I'd be sitting in a meeting, Dylan, and they'd be like, Zillow is the devil. I cannot believe realtors would invest in Zillow. Like, how crazy."
If you're looking for consistent, high quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And I am broke, like, broke on my own, no help, and I was like, "Golly, I know these girls know way more about what's going on than me, like, little on me," but I knew people my age, we weren't gonna go to the newspaper, and this was before, like, the apps, really. I mean, this is
Yeah.
Safari, but I'm like, "I really feel like we're gonna go to our phones." So I took a little bit of money I had, and I bought some leads, and back then, they're not the same today. Back then, they were good, like, real good, and I hustled, and I would meet hundreds of people. Some would not pan out, but some would, and so I watched this industry change, and I was ahead of that. Thank goodness. Like I said, little on me from a small town in Central
Yeah.
Texas, but you have to stay everybody just keep thinking, always be processing, learning, and reading, and so I saw that transition and then built a really good business off of it. And then I always am a huge advocate again for staying organized. There is too much money on the line. There's too many important dates to not be organized. And so I would have paper files and me and my assistants would do that. Well, then I had to let those go. And like COVID happened and our working situation was different. I was at a company that no longer had an office building and it just wasn't the same like walk in every day with your assistant and sit there at a desk. And so, I hated that feeling of letting go of those paper files because I loved being able to open it, and it was like your checklist, your MLS sheet, all your inspections, everything's right there. And my
Yeah.
little old brain's like, "Okay, I am here. I'm checking this. We're good. Shut it. Move on." And I miss that feeling, and so I was like, "Golly, I wish I didn't have to go 3 places, this CRM, this
Yeah.
checklist, this and that." And so I that was a pain point, but then what really did it for me was it was crazy to me that no matter how much I would, send reminders, text reminders, print things out, email people, me and my team, we'd still get the same phone calls of my client calling me and saying, "Reannah, oh my gosh, I know you told me this, but what day is closing again? Or what title company am I supposed to be going to? Or I feel like I'm forgetting something. What am I supposed to be doing right now?" Especially if you're buying and selling at the same time. And so all of that just led me to a thought where I sat there and I said, "My gosh, like in this day and age, we can," which they're probably gonna write this on my casket, I say this so much, but we can literally watch Domino's make a pizza. You can track a package, you know where it's at all times. But when you go to make the biggest investment of your life, usually, you you can't track it. Like, there wasn't a good buyer interface, and I felt like that needs to come. Other industries do this, and so I feel like that's what's coming, and again, like I tell everybody, like when I started, I couldn't find any client facing apps, but I think it's going to come. You're going to start seeing this more and more of like, it's going to be about the client experience. And so, anyways,
100%.
that's kind of how that transitioned and then started, was like, somebody should do this. I didn't think it was going to be me. And then I think I had said this, but I had a profound experience that I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it. So,
I want to ask you about that idea, hey, I'm going to get started with this. Maybe without giving away any of the gold here. You mentioned having a profound experience, but you were a successful realtor. There's a big leap of faith to start a company, let alone a tech company. I've had so many entrepreneurs and then also people who invest in tech tell me like real estate tech is kind of like being a major league baseball player. If you're batting 300 out of 1,000, you're in the Hall of Fame. So it's not an easy business to get into. What was it that really compelled you to say, "Hey, I know this is something that I have to do"?
So I'm a very spiritual person. It's just, who I am. And I had a pretty profound experience where,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
you know, I had a really good career. And like, if leaving Midland real estate, that doesn't mean I can't go somewhere else and be successful. Like, and I had done better than I ever thought. And so I'm like, no, this doesn't make sense. And
Right.
then a profound experience with some prayer and just felt that God, I mean, it was like, no, you need to do this. And I thought, okay, like, I can think of 1,000,000 reasons I should not do this, but it was so clear to me that I felt like this is what I was called to in my life, and so I'm like, "Okay, I'm doing it." And honestly, Dylan, I think if I would have had any clue of how difficult it was, I would have never done it because it has been
It's not
very.
easy.
No, but we have I'm standing here today, and we have survived, and we are thriving. But, yeah, I mean, I'm the most unconventional tech founder probably out there, and when I walk into rooms, these guys from Silicon Valley look at me like I have 2 heads. So,
I have to ask you about that. Texas realtor, West Texas, Midland, oil and gas town, profound experience through prayer. And you say, no, I'm going to change the industry here. I can imagine there's some forces at play. A, you have the way things have always been done. I'm a baby realtor, and I can already see, like, you're right. There is no way to track if I'm selling my home, or if I'm buying a home, right? And I'm submitting documents, and I have EMD, and I'm doing this. Where's the way to track? You can track your Domino's order, but you can't track your home transaction. What's going on here? And so here you are saying, okay, well, I'm going to change this. And so I'm imagining there's got to be the institutional people saying, this is a tall order. And then you also have, this is a whole new realm. Like, the real estate tech space is a totally
yes.
different space from what you were previously a part of. What has been that experience like for you, walking into these rooms and talking with people? What's been the reception? How have you been navigating the early growth of your company?
Uh, I will tell you, I have shed many tears in hotel rooms and, like, just trying to get through and you're to have you have to. I guess the best way for me to say this is you have to know who you are. And I lost so much confidence in the beginning because I'm like, what am I doing? But then it's like, you know what? I am different. I'm different than everybody else in this room. But if I'm going to be innovative, I have to be confident in me being different. And so the experience of, I mean, and you'll hear people say this, but like I said, I didn't go to college, but I'm an advocate for being a student of life. And so I constantly am listening to podcasts, I'm learning, and I'm gonna tell you something too that I give advice to everybody on. Very successful people, it's shocking, but if you ask them, "Hey, will you give me some advice or will you let me take you to coffee or will you give me 15 minutes on a Zoom call?" I've never had anybody tell me no. And I will sit there and I'm quiet. I know the questions I need to ask and I just process it. And I have had so many people pour into me that I'm so grateful for. But I just went with my gut and I prayed over every decision. Kind of again, a big part of my company is that with other tech companies, there's such a like distrust with the realtor and the tech company of your data is
Right.
being sold, they're charging your cards when you don't know it, all this stuff. And I set out with a mission that I was not going to be that way. And I wanted people when they thought of real time, I wanted them to think, man, they treat me good. That girl started that thing. They care about their realtors. They care about how, people feel when they're using it. And so, yeah, I mean, that was kind of journey of just I got with some really good people and learned and read, and I mean, and then just kept surviving,
Kept
honestly.
going,
Not a few
kept going.
times.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
So,
not easy. I've had numerous real estate tech people on the show here, and I mean it can be a challenging journey. And what you're doing specifically is truly moving the needle because, like I said, it's been done one way for so long, which you saw. I'm curious for folks who may be listening, where can people use the real time app? Is it only available in Texas? Is it across the board? Where can folks go to either reach out to yourself or learn more about the real time app?
yeah, so we are across the United States, so you can look us up on the realtimeapp.com. We have a trial, so go in, try it, see how you like it. If you have any feedback, we love to hear it. We are a product built by realtors for realtors. And then we're also going to be at NAR in Houston this year, so we have a big booth in the front. I'd love to meet you. I'll be there the whole time. My team will be there. And sometimes, Dylan, we'll meet people and they'll say, "Oh my God, we'd love to see this tool." And then you never know. We're always pushing new stuff out. And so, yeah, follow us on Instagram too. It's the realtime.app is our handle. So
Reannah, thank you so much for coming on the
thank
show here today.
it was so nice. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. If you're looking to take your business and your life to the next level, you really need to learn more about the Investor Fuel Mastermind. It's your shortcut to success. To learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other amazing entrepreneurs, 100% financing on your deals, member-only discounts, and so much more, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. By the way, Investor Fuel is even Texas-based. Also, if you're interested in applying to be a guest on this very show, the Texas Real Estate Pro Show, please visit investorfuel.com/Texas. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app so you never miss another episode. We'll see you on the next show.